Shots have been fired at Arcane by an Adult Swim executive on Twitter recently. Now, before we can make sense of what he said, I'm gonna have to give you some context first. It's rewind time, back to November. When Arcane first dropped in November, it was a massive success. And if you had eyes on your head, you might have noticed that the show is just gorgeous. The animation is incredible. It's a show that looks like no other show I've ever seen before. So what happened? What made the animation so good? Well, we can go on and on and on about all the little techniques they use to make it look good. But in short, the creation of Arcane was led by animators instead of business executives. Now, that's not to say that the show's creators were animators, they weren't, but rather that the studio that made the show became a creative partner equal to, and sometimes leading on, Riot Games in regards to making the show. And as a result, there are piles and piles of examples where the animators got to add things that weren't even in the script that makes everything feel more natural and look prettier. It makes it feel like real actors are acting out these scenes. Hi, real quick, 98% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. If you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the content, I would really appreciate a like and sub. So back to the main premise. What did this Adult Swim executive here have to say in response to the success of Arcane? Now, Arcane did have a big budget. I know how much it was, and they had 6 years of development, which most shows will never get. To be clear, that doesn't mean the show is an amazing achievement. It sure is, but it has no lessons to bring to the world of CG anime. No anime studio can afford to throw development money at a team for more than half a decade. And if Arcane was going anywhere but Netflix, where return on investment doesn't really matter, the economics wouldn't make any sense for a studio. It's definitely a miracle, but it won't be a bellwether. Essentially, he's saying, show good, but show no make other show good. Now, normally this wouldn't matter and nobody would care what he said, but interestingly, we did get a response on Reddit from the Arcane show creator Christian Link. Now, I'm paraphrasing because this is a massive comment, but I'll give you the gist of what he says. There is an incredible amount of talent out there, in animators, artists, story writers, what have you. And the reason why so much of that talent is wasted, and we see some of the same schlop over and over, is because the entertainment industry is incredibly risk averse. You could go on DeviantArt or any other ArtStation platform and you will see art that will just blow your socks off, stuff that you really wish you could see brought to life, but no one wants to bring those visions to life because it's not necessarily a safe return on investment. For example, for a show like Arcane, there were 0 real-world parallels that could be drawn between it and other shows, both story-wise, what the source material was, how it was drawn and how it looked. It was crazy to try and do this. And so many people put their necks on the line to make it happen. And it almost got axed several times, but against all odds, from 2 showrunners who had never made a show before and a studio that had never made a show before, we got an absolutely triumphant work of art. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say I agree here with the Adult Swim executive and the creator of Arcane. I don't think the success of Arcane will ever happen again. Arcane is still going to continue to be an incredible show, season 2 and hopefully beyond, but there will never be another show like it. There was just too much risk and too many unknowns for a project like this to ever get financed again. And while I will say that the Adult Swim executive was being a little bit salty with the it has no lessons to bring to the world of CG anime, I think the general gist is correct. And I just have to say, I'm so grateful I live in a timeline where I got to witness this absolute miracle of a show. And if you're grateful for that too, and you like Arcane, please drop a like and a sub. I'm pumping out the content these days, and I hope that some of you guys stick around for the future of that. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.